So when you think of future technology, one of the things I'm most looking forward to, and I'm sure a lot of you can agree, is when everything is wireless. We don't need cables anymore to transmit power. So for example, I don't have to plug in my PS6 to the wall to transmit power. Need to charge up your wireless headphones? No worries, just set it down. You have a wireless mouse that died? Don't need to plug it in, just set it down. It'll all charge wirelessly. What if I told you that's not as far away as we think? And this little guy, the PowerSpot, could do that. Well, I'd be wrong, I'd be lying. Because this little shitbag is a step in the right direction, but at the same time, it's a complete failure. But it has me excited. So meet the PowerSpot from PowerCast and their wireless charging grip for the Nintendo Switch. These two coupled together will let you wirelessly charge and power your Joy-Cons. But their main mission is to not just stop at Joy-Cons, to power most of your peripherals and technology. So the PowerSpot transmitter is the first step at wireless power, pretty much. So taking a look at it, it's relatively simple and compact. It's a little rectangle, very lightweight, all plastic, and this is what's going to be able to transmit power over the air right in front of you. So it does all start with the PowerCast here. You do have to plug this into the wall, ironically, to power this to be able to transmit the wireless power. But first I want to show you the principle around this and how it works. So they did an interview a few years ago, and they used these little popsicle sticks with LED lights on them, and the closer it would get to the actual PowerSpot itself, the brighter the light would be. The farther away, the duller the light would become. And that's just a visual example of showing you that wireless force field of power pretty much and how it works in terms of proximity. So in our real world use with their current lineup, you have this plugged in, powered on, and then you connect Joy-Cons to their little wireless charging grip. In theory, you place this down and now wirelessly your Joy-Cons will charge up. But that's not really what we're getting. Well, it is, but not how they promised. So they say up to a foot away, you could set this down and the Joy-Cons will charge wirelessly. But it's more like 2 inches. Okay, so 2 inches in proximity, that's where you're gonna get the best charge, as you can see noted by the blinking green LED light. That lets you know it's the most optimal charging situation right there. And the farther away you get, you'll see it starts to turn yellow. That's like, hey, it's not really working too well, bring it back a little bit closer. And then once it's in the red zone, that's pretty much like 0 power. This thing is not gonna charge your device optimally at all. And it cuts out at like 7 inches, which is definitely not a foot. So they say you can charge your devices wirelessly within a foot of this, but that's not the case. Realistically, it's 2 inches, where that power distance is optimal. And what I absolutely love about this, okay? Full sarcasm, I don't love this. On the back of the actual grip, take a look at the power switch. It's embedded into the whole thing. You need to get tweezers to turn this on and off. Who thought that was a good idea? So that's definitely annoying, but that's not the only real gripe I have about this. So for example, when your Joy-Cons are dead, these take 3 hours to charge if you just actually, plug them in and charge them. That's not the story when it comes to wireless power though. Now, as you can see, I had the Joy-Cons on the grip right up against the PowerSpot itself, and by that clock, this is a time lapse. Way over 3 hours. Try 4.5 hours before I came down and finally gave up and stopped filming because it was still charging. And who knows how long after that it would have continued charging for. And I'm asking, who knows? Because I don't, because there's no real way to have a charging indicator of what percentage we're at. Once this just blinks green once a minute or so to let you know it's still charging, okay. When it's done, it'll double blink green. But there's no way to tell unless you download their app, and then maybe you'll be able to see what percentage it's at if you're in the range of this. I'm not downloading an app on my phone to see the status of my wireless Joy-Cons being transmitted in this proximity here. Speaking of proximity, they say very clearly in the manual, do not operate within 20 centimeters of this to your body because, it's not really healthy. That's 7 inches. They don't want you getting within 7 inches of this because whatever, not radiation, but just the frequencies, or maybe it is radiation, I don't know, but it's really not tested or deemed safe within 20 centimeters. So, okay, What's the redeeming quality here? Well, in that interview I mentioned earlier, they said that this will come out for $50. And then, they would extend what this is compatible with, like I mentioned before, with like headphones and stuff, possibly even your wireless gaming mice, anything like that. Maybe there'll be adapters for, you plug it in, and now you can charge these things wirelessly for $50. That's pretty good. But no, $150, 3 times the price they initially said, and it charges way slower than just plugging in, wired. And that makes sense, sure, but if it's within just that 2 inches, what's the point? What's the point of having something this close to each other when I could just plug it in and get it charged in half the time? I don't really get it. I don't get it. Now, I don't know if they're gonna be watching this. I bought this from Amazon. I don't have a sponsorship or whatever you conspiracy theorists out there might think. I don't work with PowerSpot. PowerCast. This is the PowerSpot. So I bought this on Amazon, wanted to try it out, and it's a very poor product that does not really do what it says. But like I said, it's possibly a step in the right direction. Now, I don't come on this YouTube channel and take a shit on a lot of products very often, but when I come across something that, is positive and has me excited, in which this did, I definitely wanted to check it out. Because like I said, that is the future. All wireless everything, worrying about cables will be a thing of the past. So the fact that we have something kind of like that out there right now shows that maybe it's not that far away than we might think or hope. But this isn't cutting it. This isn't getting it done, especially at 3 times the cost of their initial price. So yeah. All right, guys, that's a bit of a different video for you, right? Hope you enjoyed. If you want to check it out, maybe don't, I'll put a link for you in the description down below. I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.